Losing a beloved icon is always tragic, and reading back over some of their final words can sometimes offer a heartbreaking glimpse into what they were going through near the end. Jimmy Buffett was a star before Margaritaville, but that was a song that catapulted his easygoing island rock into the hearts of millions. And by the time of his death, Buffett had turned Margaritaville into a multi-million-dollar empire of hotels, restaurants, and even retirement homes. Buffett passed away on September 1st, 2023, just a few days after posting a video to his Instagram. Although he had performed in more recent shows, the video harkened back to a much earlier show in 2016, showing Buffett performing a live version of the Beatles' Hey Jude. His death came about 4 years after he was diagnosed with Merkel cell skin cancer, and true to his lifelong dedication to fun, high-energy, less-than-serious performances, he had continued to perform until a few months before his passing. In a 2020 interview with Rolling Stone, he spoke about the importance of living each day to the fullest, and when he was asked how he would like to be remembered, he said, "I'd say he had a good time and made a lot of people happy would be good. Yeah, that'd be good." Tim Bergling was better known as global EDM superstar Avicii. He seemed to have it all, and when he died by suicide on April 20th, 2018, it opened up a very important conversation about mental health, addiction, and the price of fame. Bergling had been candid about the pressures, stresses, and anxieties that he felt piling up on his shoulders. Since his death, his father has not only founded a mental health charity called the Tim Bergling Foundation, but he has spoken openly about it in the hopes of raising awareness and helping others find their way through the darkness. Klaus Bergling told CBS Mornings, "Suicide came as a shock to all of us. We thought that he was really on a better way." Avicii's last Instagram post is dated April 4th, 2018. It was a photo of himself in an ultra-stylish house, piano in the background. Smiling sun emojis are included in the caption, which reads, "It's always sunny in California." Years later, there are still regularly posted comments on the photo, expressing grief, regret, and promises to live life to the fullest in his memory. There are some stars who can be described as the voice of a generation, and Olivia Newton-John was definitely one of those. With more than 100 million albums sold, Newton-John's contributions to the musical landscape of the 1970s and 80s was invaluable. She was first diagnosed with breast cancer in 1992, but spent years in remission before being diagnosed again in 2017.
Just, I need to get through this. I have lots to do. But of course it's scary. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't scary.
During that time, she had also been active in working with her own Olivia Newton-John Foundation Fund, which focused on cancer research. Her final Instagram post was on August 5th, 2022, and featured a behind-the-scenes still of her smiling in the arms of her longtime husband, John Easterling, from her music video for Live On. Tragically, Newton-John died just 3 days after posting the photo. Announcing her death on August 8th, Easterling posted a statement to her Facebook page not only requesting privacy to mourn, but praising her strength and courage during her decades-long journey through breast cancer. Toby Keith's final Instagram post was a tribute to his continuing popularity. In a short video clip, the camera looks out over a cheering crowd as the country music star takes off his guitar and holds it up. It's simply captioned, "And that's a wrap on the weekend, y'all. Back to it." The clip appears to be from one of his last shows in Las Vegas in December 2023. Keith had revealed his official medical diagnosis in 2022, saying that he was going through treatment for stomach cancer.
Cancer is a roller coaster, so it's like you just sit here and wait on it to go away. It may not ever go away.
Keith went on to say that he had been grateful that he had his faith to lean on through his diagnosis and treatment. He ultimately passed away the day after that final post on February 5th, 2024. Loretta Lynn wasn't just the singer-songwriter who helped shape country music for an entire generation. She was a force of nature. Her life story was immortalized in Coal Miner's Daughter, and when John Carter Cash worked with her to record some of her last songs, he said, "With Loretta, you just turn on the mic, stand back, and hold on." Lynn passed away on October 4th, 2022, and although no cause of death was given, it was noted that the 90-year-old had died peacefully in her sleep. In the years prior, she had suffered several falls and a stroke in 2017, which brought an end to her touring performances after nearly 6 decades on stage. A final message was posted to her official Instagram 2 days before her death, and it took the form of a Bible verse. The verse was expanded on in the caption, which read, "Everyone who does evil hates the light and will not come into the light for fear that their deeds will be exposed. But whoever lives by the truth comes into the light, so that it may be seen plainly that what they have done has been done in the sight of God." When the genre-bending musician Prince died on April 21, 2016, it was a death no one saw coming. When law enforcement released the results of their investigation into his passing in 2018, it was revealed that years of playing and performing had taken a toll on him, and he had been suffering from such chronic pain, particularly in his hands, that he had been regularly prescribed painkillers. His death at age 57 was determined to be from an accidental overdose of fentanyl. Prince suffered a near-death episode days before he died, and was reportedly seeking treatment for addiction. His final Instagram posts look almost like a pre-made memorial. 3 separate posts, all made on April 14, 2016, were arranged to center a photo of Prince in between 2 blank white spaces at the top of his grid. When Lincoln Park's Chester Bennington died by suicide on July 20, 2017, it was barely 2 months after he had played at a tribute for Soundgarden's Chris Cornell, who had passed the same way. Those who knew him best have spoken out about the devious nature of depression, addiction, and the mental health struggles that colored his final days. Grey Daze drummer Sean Dowdell had spoken with Bennington just 2 days before his death and told Rolling Stone, "He was on top of the world." Bennington's final Instagram post, a few weeks before his death, also seemed to project optimism for the future. The snap was a photo of Bennington on stage, taken from behind, showing his view of the concert crowd gathered in front of him. The caption simply read, "Birmingham, UK, one more light." It was a poignant photo of a rock star at the top of his game, and a sobering reminder that even the most successful people have their struggles. His wife, Talinda, has spoken about the importance of awareness, reiterating that while Bennington had long dealt with depression, he'd been in good spirits right before his death.
Everything happened at a time I can't stress enough, and we thought everything was okay. It was just took us by surprise.
Death is tragic no matter when or how it comes, but it's an extra shock when it's entirely unexpected. For Coolio, one of his final Instagram posts went from a teasing promise of potential new material to a heartbreaking farewell. In it, he's pictured facing away from the camera, sitting at a table, hard at work on something. The caption read, "What am I doing?" He tagged the location at Austin City Limits Live and followed up the post with several backstage videos from the show. The posts were dated September 21, 2022, and Coolio died on September 28th. When contributing factors were published, it was found that a shocking number of things likely caused his sudden death at the age of 59, starting with the fact that he had previously been diagnosed with asthma and a heart condition called cardiomyopathy. Although no initial cause was first given, it was widely reported that he had been at a friend's Los Angeles home when he died. Ultimately, the largest factors in his death were a combination of fentanyl, heroin, and methamphetamine, coupled with previous use of PCP. It's no secret that K-pop has taken the world by storm, but it all too often happens that tragedy and success go hand in hand. Goo Hara was one of the members of the K-pop band Kara, and in late 2019, she paid tribute to her dear friend and fellow K-pop sensation Sulli after she died by suicide. Then, on November 22, 2019, Goo posted what would be her final photo on Instagram. In it, she lay in bed and looked into the camera, adding the simple caption, "Good night." On November 24th, it was announced that she too had died by suicide. The mainstream media took the opportunity to shine a light on a number of issues that she had been dealing with, including online bullying, harassment, and intense scrutiny over her appearance, and an assault case that involved her ex-boyfriend. Before her death, she repeatedly posted about mental health concerns and the damaging impact that online bullying could have. In an interview with the New York Times, a South Korean journalist shared some heartbreaking insight into the life of a K-pop star, saying, "From an early age, they live a mechanical life, going through a Spartan training regimen. Their fall can be as sudden and as dramatic as their rise to the height of fame." Lil Peep was a rocker and rapper who was poised on the brink of something unique, with millions of fans around the world.
I'm out here making music, and the shit I talk about is real, so I don't,
He always talked about appreciating his fans, and in his very last Instagram post on November 15, 2017, he shared a photo of 3 fans posing for him. Tragically, that was also the same day he posted photos of himself with tabs of an unidentified substance, a photo of himself in front of a brick wall, and a partial shot of himself with the heartbreaking caption, "When I die, you'll love me." He died that same day, after spending some time talking with a few fans he'd invited back to his tour bus. One recalled him saying, "Today is a good day. Not every day is a good day, but today is. I feel good." Around half an hour later, he was gone. The official cause of his death was an accidental overdose of Xanax and fentanyl. in combination with cocaine, marijuana, and opiates. Lisa Marie Presley died on January 12, 2023, but it wasn't until July that the cause of death was revealed as a bowel obstruction, an unusual but not unheard of complication from a previous surgery. Her last post was made on August 30th, 2022, and it was a reminder that the day was National Grief Awareness Day. Presley linked to an article she had written for People, in which she talked about her son's death by suicide. The essay is hard to read, but it's also one that hits home in a very important way. Presley wrote about the endlessness of grief, saying, "Grief is something you will have to carry with you for the rest of your life, in spite of what certain people or our culture wants us to believe. You do not get over it. You do not move on, period." She concluded the essay with a plea to reach out to those who are grieving, because they do want to talk, writing, "Ask them how they're doing. Ask them to talk about their person. Yes, we do want to talk about them. That's how we keep them alive in our hearts. That's how they don't get forgotten. That is what keeps us alive as well." If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, or needs help with addiction issues or mental health, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org.